right call them in right scene. Okay, hold on. Scene. Figure this out. Should be the right one, but it's not giving me my overhead cam. Aside from that, I think this is right. Part of the issue here is that the what do you call the Stream Deck? Let's see. Stream Deck thing is not giving me the right profile. Maybe I didn't save it. There should be an overhead cam. That's not it. There it is. Hold on. Oh, but it's saying it's not there. Yeah, this should be the right one. Okay, what's the problem here? Let's look at obs, and then we're gonna get all recursive and stuff. Woohoo! We're entering the matrix. All right, 1 second. So overhead cam, this guy, which is working, but why is it not being controlled by Stream Deck? So it's always something, right? I've had one called in-game cleaner. Scene 2024. Use this. The source is overhead. Let's see if this works now. Whammo. Okay. So now it's just a matter of color correcting that overhead, which is going to be in Logitech G Hub. I don't know why this thing doesn't just stay put. Whatever I leave you on, stay there. So that's the 920. Let's get some light on here. That looks completely horrible. So exposure, go to automatic. Oh, look at that. There we go. I don't know why it keeps bouncing back and forth. Wish it would not do that. Got the focus. You leave it there. Okay, so I think we're good there. No, it's still bouncing. Why are you bouncing? Bounce. God, that's terrible. Sorry. Let me figure out if there's a way to turn that off. I keep asking, is there a better camera to use as a webcam? Look at this. Why? Why are you doing that? There's no reason for that. Leave this up. Zoom 100%. Exposure. Auto exposure. Can I turn that off? All right. Focus. Autofocus off. Is autofocus what makes it bounce? Let's see. Exposure. Yeah, I think it's the autofocus. I'm gonna turn off autofocus. Nope. There it goes again. Okay, so it's auto exposure for sure. Nope. Auto exposure is off and it's still doing it. Autofocus is off and it's still doing it. Why are you bouncing? Is there actually something up there making it bounce? I'm so sorry about this. So ridiculous. Why it does this? Well, let me throw the victim on here and see if this fixes it. All right, I broke my antenna. That's what I was totally worried about. Oh man. So I forgot to take my antenna off before I put my wireless away, and this is what I got. Let me see if I can fix that. Big fat oops. Okay, give me a second. I kept telling myself, okay, make sure you take off your antenna before you take off before you put your whole setup in your bag. And I don't know, maybe this is just how this thing goes. Um, doesn't look good. Oh, now you know what? I bet this still works. But still, yeah, I got to remember to take this thing off before I put it in my bag. Okay, so next part. So the reason we're doing this today, I know I've been rewiring this pedal board a lot lately, but here we go again. Ugh. So, can I put a one spot in here? I had this thing. We had a whole video doing this Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 2 Plus, super fancy. That's what all the guitar pedal experts say to use. But again, these are the same kind of people who think that wood actually makes a difference to the sound of an electric guitar. So I need to stop listening to these guys. And yeah, that's what I get for listening to them. Turns out that this thing, the bajillion-dollar one, can't power my stuff as well as this cheapo one spot can. So I put the one spot back on. I think we had a video where it seemed like the billion-dollar power supply that all the experts recommended actually made it a little bit quieter. Like I'm running a noise gate on here, which I really shouldn't do since the Helix has its own gate, but because of where I have the Tonex amplifier thing in the chain, that Helix noise gate can't really work. So I'm hoping that Helix comes up with a side chained noise gate. We're begging. Helix firmware 3.8 should be coming out soon, and so maybe it will, but probably not. So what I got to do is rewire this stuff. I got to put another one spot in here. So I'm going to power the Tonex with one spot, and I'm going to use another one spot to power the rest of my gear. And I'm going to take this thing out of here. So let's start getting the snipping. I'm probably going to, again, need to run the hot glue gun, which is not ideal, but you know, it works. So much hot glue on this. It just kills me. You know, I'm not I'm not a performing guitar player. I did play last night, and right before I went to go play, I was practicing, and my Tonex kept turning off, and it's because this thing doesn't put out enough power, as far as I can tell. And when I put a one spot on it, ran fine all last night at the show. Um, it's this, guitar players believe the craziest stuff, like, magical germanium and magical transistors and transformers and that, like I say, the wood tone wood thing. So I don't know why I was listening to them about something as technical as this, but I kind of do, because I'm not an expert in that. So I figure I ask the experts. But yeah, bad idea. We always talk about epistemology on here, and so how do you know what you think you know? I should ask a lot more. Like, I just got to get rid of this thing. Old people can have this thing. I don't want it. It's a nightmare for me. It doesn't do what I want it to do. It's heavy. Yeah, it feels like this pedal board weighs a ton, and it is big. It takes up a lot of space, but I don't know how to make it any smaller, really. And I mean, I could use a slightly smaller one, but I can't really have that noise gate on there, and I can't have I guess I could have the Tonex one. The two pedals that I use are really heavy, these Mission pedals. And I was thinking about it, I really only use one of them. So I could make it lighter that way. The whole thing weighs less than 40 pounds, but that's still a lot. And it's also big. It's just very big. You see how big this takes up a lot of space on the floor. I think it's either 32 or 36 inches wide. Pretty big. Yeah, I take up a lot of space on stage, which is not cool. Here. It's not heavy, but it's not insubstantial. This is the Voodoo Lab Power Pedal Power 2 Plus. Okay. Goodbye. Very expensive compared to this, which is the one spot. But I suppose that thing has isolated outputs or something. It's supposed to be way better because of isolated outputs, but it didn't work for me. It might have made it quieter, which is a plus. So I got to get this off, which is hot glued on. See if I could just pry it off for now. And so I'm probably going to be using a Chox DC7, which is an isolated output unit. It's real small, but it's like same thing, a little brick, and then it has a bunch of outputs. And it shouldn't have the problems that the one spot has, but at the same time, I don't really have a problem. The only thing is the Tonex's noise, and I can't tell for sure if it's really from the power, or there's something weird with Helix's effects loop, which I think is the actual problem. Some other people were kind of talking about the same thing, but experts, right? So there we go. These are really handy. These you can make the direction of the IEC, or the what is it called, Edison plug, whichever way you want. So I might have to. This thing's come on and off so many times. I'm worried it's just gonna rip. Like, I should really order another one of these what do you call these things? It's not an extension cord. What do you call this? Circuit protector, circuit breaker, surge protector. There we go. Surge protector. Might buy one of those. Because if this one ever goes bad, everything's kind of attached to it. I have some USB on here to charge the wirelesses and stuff. And okay, this USB is for data, so I gotta move this. So this used to be in someplace safe, but I had to move it because the pedal power was taking up the spot. Then I got to put two of these wall warts in. I could use a wall wart eliminator, I suppose. So this is there any difference here? The original ice, one spot. Okay, no, it's the same thing. All right, so I'm gonna take this off. Again, it's hot glued. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on stage volume. So I'm dealing with a lot of problems live. I mean, I always have my whole life. I've dealt with this. You can play more venues and stuff if you can get the volume down. When I had the little kid bands going, sometimes the final frontier was volume, right? And the last piece of volume that really couldn't fix was the drums. And so I used to have them playing. This is before the days when you could actually you had all these remote controlled mixers and stuff. So we had Reaper running VNC or one of those remote desktop protocols. And so I had a laptop controlling a computer rack, and the computer rack was being fed all their instruments. I did all like the clean distortion switching inside Reaper. And the drums were sending MIDI to the computer, and then those were playing Steven Slate samples out to the audience. And that way I could control the drum volume. So I want to, maybe it's going to be something like that. I mean, a lot of times the problem is guitars on stage, just the stage volume of the guitar amps, and the thinking that your guitar amp on stage is going to provide the SPL for the audience. That maybe at a tiny, tiny, tiny show, but if you got a PA system, let the PA system feed the audience. They're not going to get anywhere near as good of a sound coming out of an amp at one point on the stage, smearing through everybody's mics and trying to, all the leakage and everything else compared to, however, an impulse response, not a mic, if you're smart. It's coming right out there to the mains. That's the way to do it. Okay. Gotta get rid of a lot of cabling, and so this is probably going to move because now there's tons of space over here. So, man, I had it really nice and tied up too, but you got to do what you got to do. Let me see who's tied to what. Okay, that's open. This can actually move. So it's just these USB cables. Okay, this one's tied up. And I just had this nice and clean. So I'm probably gonna pull each USB cable just so I can figure this out. Okay. But I might, depending on how the update goes for the Tone X pedal and Tone X1, maybe I'll put the Tone X pedal back on here. But right now I have an in-ear system. It doesn't have to live on my pedal board, but it makes it really convenient when it does. Like really, really, really convenient. So I would like to leave it on here, but I know how much it adds a pretty big chunk to this board. When we're done, I'll flip this over and you can see. So I think I'm going to leave my USB power right here. And as long as everything can reach there, that's actually good. It's out of the way. So I got to make sure all these cables reach there. So there goes that. And then I got to get the power cables out anyway. But man, I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on stage volume. Okay. Power. These USB. Oh man, this was so clean. Ouch. What's this? Oh, this is okay. So this is the Tone X1's USB. Yeah, it's the other thing on the pedal power. You got to use this like current doubler cable thing. You don't have to use that on the one spot. It's just, man, I got to stop listening to guys who believe in Tonewood. That's really what it is. So get rid of this. So this is one of these is for my keyboard pedal. One of these is going to be for the wireless, and one of these is going to be for the noise gate. So, oh, and the wireless just fell off the Oh, that dual lock's not really holding that one. That's the wireless. Wireless and keyboard and noise gate. Okay, let me get the keyboard one. I think it's over here. And this was just cleanly wired to. What a bummer. I'll get that out in a second. So USB. Oh man. I can't really get these the zip tie holder downer things to always hold on all that well. The adhesive's just not that strong, or else I clean this thing with alcohol before I do it, so you'd think it would work. What is that? Is that USB? Yes. So I gotta snip that too. I'm always so scared I'm gonna go right through one of these wires, man. It should be a gate, the Century USB. This one, so now this one's too short, but I gotta lengthen it. I don't know how bad it is to run the USB data right next to some of these audio cables. Doesn't seem to make much of a difference. I would think it would make more difference than it does. Oh, but wait, I'll put a zip tie through it first. That's hard to put the tie through after I do. Maybe I should just run them. Yeah, I could run them on their own data thing and then bring them up this way. That would be pretty trick. It doesn't seem to matter so much. I would think it would hurt noise wise more than it does, but here, hit hot. So if it's like if it's more like that, it's less likely to hit there, but is it more likely to hit here? Ideally, it would be like this. Then you're completely safe. Glad you thought of that. But basically, there's three types of wiring going on. There's audio, there's power, and there's data. Worry about whether the data stuff is fit two one spots in this area here, so I might have to move some stuff. Went to the music store and got an iSpot or one spot combo pack. Also, last night bought a spare one of those multi port ones. This one comes with like everything. So this multi-plug 8 cable. I think I bought a multi-plug 5 cable. This is the iSpot multi-plug 5 cable. Um, let's see. So might have a Tonex pedal. I don't now. Wireless, gate, Sentry thing, and keyboards. That's 4. So the 5 will work. So I'm just gonna keep the spare 8 in my bag. So if something goes wrong at a show, I've got one. And I should actually put more 1-spots in there. Let's see if this 5 one will actually reach all where I need it to reach, because it actually has to go kind of far. Actually, no, because one of them's just going here, so this 5 will work fine. Okay, never mind. Okay, so have that there. See how this guy fits. These things come with so much cable, it's insane. Okay, so here's the problem. I have to put this on, but I also have to put this guy. Fit. Ideal, but I think that'll work. Chance that I could actually power this thing with a special flipper cable, but let's be keep thinking of Sunday. It's actually Friday. Had a haunted house all week and bringing back the gear from it. Had a great show last night. I except for the stage volume problem, which again I really want to hear from you guys about how our stage volume was awesome, but just brutal, man. We really couldn't get it to sound good. Like it doesn't sound good to the audience when you're just bleeding mud into every mic and just blowing their ears out with 6K treble. And I think first I'm going to make sure my audio is tied back up. To then I'm going to do the power. So let me get this out of the way. Even though this is kind of part of it, but this is USB. Okay. Okay. So the question is, do I run the USB alongside everything else or under it and then over here? Or do I run it on a different rail? So far, I don't think I'm really having problem with the USB making noise. So I'm just gonna. There is a problem when I plug USB in, but this stuff is normally going to be unplugged. I don't think it matters, guys. Run them all underneath the audio here. That way, I might be able to tie these at the same time. I might put one more thing here. thing that starting to learn how to be a sound guy has helped with is over under thing and really clean up your pedal board. I never really used it that way before. So over under wrapping is kind of making my pedal board wiring nicer. Down here, that might be nice. Over here, wrap there. Again, this is the Tonex one. I might have another one on here. I might actually have the Tonex pedal and the Tonex one on the same board, which would be kind of crazy, but hey, how we roll. Yeah, pretty clean. And now this guy, if I were to wrap all the USB extra over here, then this guy can go. Actually, just go where the rest of them are going, right here. Tell me that's not on the outside. Okay, that's good. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna pull all the slack. I'm getting better at this. Like, you guys saw my first few builds; it was horrendous. All right, but oh no, I can fix that. Okay. So I got to make sure it's secure over here. Tie it right there. It's gonna be a lot of ties on this one. I might go get the longer zip ties. Now I know the black zip ties look cleaner, but when I go to cut them, it's way easier when I have the colored ones. Then I see them, and I see exactly where they go. Hey, and here's where I messed up. Oh no, this is a different. Oh man, okay. This is the actual USB coming in. Which one's the Helix one then? Ooh, that's the Helix. So this is the USB from the USB port. I should put it back over here instead of over here. Like where it is right now, it's kind of a bad spot. Oh no, that's fine. Okay. So the only problem here is this thing. It would be nicer if it was down here, but I'll deal with that. Okay. These three guys. Okay. Oh man. See, need to do one thing at once because I got to get rid of this power. This one. I think that's like the keyboard pedals power maybe. Oh yeah. I didn't get to ride yesterday because I had to mix 3 bands and play in one of them. So today I really want to get out and ride. So if I don't finish this today, it would be cleaner if I put this underneath. tie, unhot glue it. I want to run this way, this somehow nicely. It would be run this here, get the slack out of it there. Please, you guys, I want to hear your thoughts on stage volume. Really killing me lately. Killed me my whole life, but this last couple of shows, it's just I don't want to hurt people. Still really bad at over under. I'm just saying that I'm starting to learn it. Can you imagine if this snagged on the bottom of something across the stage? I'd be in a lot of trouble, right? So I want to make these as compact as possible. This is danger noodle stuff. Experience with danger noodles, and they've never made this kind of trouble for me. Stage last night. Play Heaven and Hell, so there's like this super long part where the other guitar player is playing a lead. If I can walk all the way off the stage and go get water. Sound like hear what we sounded like out front, which is cool. We were getting tied up here. So when I do the power, we'll be tying a bunch of this stuff on. This just peels right off, man. It's not thick hard. I think I'm gonna do put a thick down. Well, you know what? I don't want to do it on the wireless because it is sometimes maybe coming off my. tie this one down. I'm going to wrap the other two and tie them to it. I think that's going to make this clean compared to how I had it before. Getting better. I watched that Vertex Pedalboards guy. He really makes some clean stuff, but I guess I'm doing things a little bit different. But I'm sure if he had my setup, he'd find a way to make it super nice. The way they wrap them, it's just so clean. The way to override that, oh, there it is right there. I don't know why I don't get it. Um, ties. So now, Tone X1's USB is one of the thicker ones. A little bit worried this is starting to stick out a little bit, and I could maybe make a pile next to it. Or did I mean to put it through here? No, I think I meant to tie it through here, and I didn't. So I really want to make sure I'm not getting the potential to snag anything. So kind of, you might think I'm overdoing this, but if I snag them and start ripping cables on that stuff, that would be that might be curtains. Like I say, I do have to find time to ride today, or else I'll croak. I know there's some guys going out to the jumps, but I don't think I'm going to be going to the jumps today. That is pretty clean right there. Make it stay there. This is a lot of cable, man. Oh, see that's sticking out. So I'm gonna zip tie this too. I know it's not the prettiest, but way better than it was. I'm craving donuts. Donut junkie. I want to hear you guys. Like I say, I want to hear what you think about stage volume and how you guys deal with it. I mean, we make all kinds of jokes about guitar players, right? And yeah, a lot of them are definitely based in all sorts of truth. But right now, I'm just melting the hot glue off if I can. I got just so much hot glue on here; it's ridiculous. I'm surprised this thing's still alive, honestly. I would like a better power distribution thing, but I don't think it's one of those. I don't think it's like a pedal plus or whatever. I think it's some other solution. But I mean, this surge protector is working okay. So, yeah, trouble wiping the hot glue off. I want to grab it because it's probably hot. And I don't want to contaminate a tool with it. Pretty good. I think this stuff will sit pretty flat now. Let me see. Not that this thing's clear of it. Look at all that hot glue on the bottom of that thing. Crazy. Ooh. Yeah, see, that doesn't sound good, right? That sound like it's making a positive connection with all that clacking? Because I did like bend it off of there. Who knows? Gosh, it's such a mess. And so when this one's like this, the other one is this. Yeah, and then that other power has to go there. Wait, what am I looking at? Oh, one of these powers my FR. Okay, yeah, that has to be. I'm using this pedal board to do a lot of different stuff, so that's why this stuff's so nuts. Okay. Anyway, just make sure I have this right now. So USB's in, USB's tied down pretty good. That's loose. I'll tie that up as I go on. I think that's good for the USB. So we got to get the power. So that's going to be this guy. Somehow up here, that's going to be plugged in there. This is going to one to the back. So if I put it, I could put it through here and go through the top of the pedal board, but I think that would be way worse than this. Man, my wireless fell off again. I might have to flip this to get this right. That's that. Try that right here. Small one. Tie it to a really nice way to do this. I got to put this slack somewhere. Maybe I could put the slack down here where I put the rest of it. Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. Down here. To here. Again, I'm looking to make this as snag proof as I possibly can. Zip tie it to there. Nice. I can make that bend. Yeah. All right, that is clean. Now notice I haven't tested any of this, so we don't know if it works, but it's kind of important, I know. Now this one, for sure, is going right here. Now, I don't know if I should do this yet or if I should put the power through. Oh, no, I think that's good. I have to tie this up, but okay, let me see. Yeah, I've done this so many times, put it on and taken it off, that I worry that I've damaged stuff. Like I really had to peel it off last time. It was bad. I got to get this on there, and I got to get this on there. Got to tie up all that. Unless, is there a way to do it this way and it's not as bad? Either way, it's hitting. That not as bad as this. Goes all the way over halfway through the thing. This is just the little ways. That might be better. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm just waiting for this one to cool down. So I need that not to come off. I don't know if it helps. I had like a cooler thing, but actually that might make it worse. I could spray alcohol on there. I don't know. Having a little bit of argument about current and stuff on these things. Let's see. There's a chance I don't need that noise gate if this like I think I said this already. If this thing works, ooh, still not solid. I hate the hot glue this because man, it is hard to get this off when it's back. When it's on well. But you know, you don't want it falling off either, so let go of it. Okay. Maybe add a little bit more security. Why do it a little if you can do it a lot? Not even two yet. Okay. Okay, so I think what I have to do is flip this over. I do have to put these on. So wait a second. What if I put this on here? Put this one over here. Is that better? No, that's horrible. Okay. Bad idea. I don't like that this is floating right now or this because this is going to come unraveled, but I'll deal with that. Okay. This is the USB for main USB. Like this to get out of the way. This one's for the section. Yeah, just we'll lock them on since they're out of the way. So it's the USB that comes in for all the data. This one charges four. This one charges actually probably move this. That just because it's zip tied or I don't know if I can actually move this key. I need to plug this in when I'm each balance to hit each other. Find out. That. Okay, so now we gotta get that power. But it really only has to hit a couple things. I'm not using all of the plugs. It's dangerous. I know it's just ground, but what if something goes onto the inside? Oh, it always feels like I'm gonna. Right there. Wrap up that end. I really don't want to leave it exposed. That really scares me. No, it doesn't matter, but one of them. I would do this a different way if I'm running a next pedal. Let's see. I have my wireless stick down. Choices. You don't have to pull out my fish tank. It's down. It's not like flipping this over. Oh no. If I unplug that thing, I can totally. I'll get this over here. Let me plug this in. Okay. Oh, getting attached to a very long cable. Tied up right. But makes it. I keep thinking one day. High downs, maybe you would hold on to it well. It's on. Still sits with that hand. No. Got a couple of these. This one. Hot glue. They're bent, which I don't want to do. Really sure. Funny thing was, I was really worried about how I'm going to zip tie the extensions right from the air. And short out. It's going to be the end of the world, but right up. I don't know if the antenna's working or not. Like, I forgot to put my antenna on. Great. How do you even know? Factory wrap because it's sure. So that up. Get it underneath there. As long as this don't help us. Hey, so I think it's only 40 pounds. Actually less now because of uh-oh. 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 Oh no, that's not it. Never mind. It's actually less now because check out that pedal power thing. Okay, color smoke do you expect to see here? This. Oh yeah, because I moved it. Fired up. On. Phonex is on. On. Entry's on. Wireless is on. Now does it work? That's a whole other question. And I don't have the USB in a place where it can be hooked up unless I put it on the floor. But you're gonna hear a wheeze because that has to do with something else that's USB. Now that I moved this, can I get my guitar cable in there easily? Find that out too. Oh, of course I took my guitars out of here because I was playing a show last night. So let's find out about that. Oh yeah, they're still on the ground. I'll take those out later. I got this guitar whose battery might be dead, so making the same noise with it on, the gate on or off. I'd rather not use this Tonex. I'd rather just use the Helix. I'd like to get rid of the gain. I went on stage last night. I feel like my artificial harmonics were dying early. On the dive bomb, anyway. I don't hear it doing it now. All right, this is good. I'm gonna go ride my bike and see you guys later.